Hey everyone, and welcome to Darkson Gaming. My name is Chris, and in today's video we are going to be jumping in and taking a look at my personal tier list for all of the LRs that came out in 2020. So first and foremost, huge shout out to Dragon Ball Dokkan Wiki. They are obviously amazing source of information, and that's really what we're going to use today to be able to go through and take a look at all these different units. And yeah, so I have uploaded previously my Dokkan Fest exclusive units, and I did that here just the other day. So this is going to be pretty much the same style format. Going to run through each and every one of the different units that I personally feel are going to be ranked in a certain area. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump in. And my least favorite unit, I guess you could turn around and say, is going to be the Broly, Chile, and Lemo. Now, this is probably going to be up for some pretty decent debate, just because of the fact of, I know they're a good unit, but the reason why I went ahead and decided to put them last is to let you know that, yes, they are a good unit. They've got some different things that go on with them. They are probably fun, like probably one of the most fun units, I will say that, which doesn't kind of I guess justify me for my list of putting them up. I was thinking a little bit more about usability, and these are all the units that, hey, I made my decision based upon what I use my red. If I had 500 red coins or 500 gold coins, what am I going to spend? I got one unit I got to purchase, and that's kind of how I ended up creating this list and what's going to be the most beneficial. Now, there are some people this could be hugely different for. I mean, to be in a movie's boss category lead, that's pretty standard for the lead that these guys are going to all have for their leads. But at the same time, movie boss is not a spectacular lead. I think there's going to be some new units that are going to be coming out in 2021 that can really greatly help Broly, Chile, and Lemo's stock and be able to move them up. But again, they're probably a lot more of a fun unit to be able to play with. They are going to be a unit that you really kind of got to think. You can't go on autopilot with them because you've really got to pay attention. Do you want to get physical key spheres to make them into a nuking unit? Do you want to turn around and go after AGL or strength key spheres in order to give them a better attack? Or do you want to go for a defense with your tech and intelligence spheres? Now, I will say, probably one of the best things, if you can get them onto a... I think we need some more movie boss characters that are able to turn around and have skill orb changing. One thing that I've heard a lot of people talk about is the new Janemba card that is actually just released on JP. And either with the Strength Janemba or the Tech Janemba, if they would have turned around and made either one of those an orb changer to where they could maybe be a rainbow orb changer or really any other orb changer, this card immediately jumps up towards the top of the list. The ability to evade all attacks if you collect 7 or more key spheres is huge. But what kind of key sphere change unit are you going to be able to run with them? As soon as the movie bosses comes out with one, I think this unit almost goes definitely to the top, like 3 that you have to talk about because they are so versatile at that point. But man, not being able to feed them orbs or not being able to do that, I think makes them very, very difficult. So moving on then, the next unit that I think is Napa and Vegeta, and really I like them. I think they're pretty cool. They're interesting. Again, Inhuman Deeds category is kind of a little bit of a wonky category, so it's a little bit unique. Really, their best benefit is for them to be able to turn around and be on World Tournament. The ability to be able to have a 12-key attack that can attack all enemies, in which you're going to probably clear the board. And the majority of World Tournament does have strength nukers or other strength characters, so you're going to be able to wipe them off the board very easily. And really, the only tech unit is going to be that Majin Vegeta that attacks all. That really just kind of recently gotten the awakening. So that's the reason why it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit more of a unique, thing that we're just trying to figure out with them. But again, when I really look at them, that's kind of it. I mean, they're an interesting unit. Other than that, I mean, it's kind of cool. When you actually switch to become Vegeta, he does do very well. He does gain some health back when he transforms. And then that active skill that Napa has that guarantees, it's basically a Ghost Usher for a turn. You're not going to get hit. So he does have some different things to come through. I think with the Inhuman Deeds category, and with them being on Yes, Pure Saiyans is really nice, but and Terrifying Conquerors, but I don't know. I mean, maybe once with Space Traveling Warriors, maybe once we actually get on the global side of the game, the new Bojack, maybe they change. But as of right now, you know, that they're just not there. All right, so really coming down into then the top 10. So this is the top 10 units, and this is going to get really, really interesting. Okay, so Goku Black, really kind of think this unit's pretty cool unit. Again, kind of goes back down to the whole entire thing of whether or not you can get him key. It's not that he has necessarily a key problem to be able to not be able to hit his 18 key super attack, but if you need him to almost be at his 24 key in order for him to be fully effective. And again, comes back down to the Future Saga category, and then Realm of Gods, Patara, Time Travelers. I mean, some of these guys, they just don't have that super key that you can just dump through and do a lot of different things on. So, kind of interesting. You got to be able to build a team right around him, and then being able to also have some of those link skills to really go through. Now, he does have big bad bosses, which is huge. But again, it comes back down to he's got, you know, where's the orb changers? Where's the different things that can turn around and make some things happen? Not to mention being able to go into his enraged mode. Yes, this is great and wonderful. You know, attacks effective against all types. It lasts one turn, and you just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it can really mess up your rotations. That's the reason why I ended up going ahead and putting him at number 10. Now, number 9. Super Saiyan God Goku. This is probably the first one. Well, actually, all of these. I'm sure people are like, what are you thinking? His leader skill is really good. The fact that he's a pure Saiyans and hybrid Saiyans category, key +4, HP attack and defense +130, is really, really good. You know, probably one of the top leader skills that you can be able to turn around and get. I just don't like the fact that he has, you know, once he hits his 7 turns, he kind of drops down. I just have not seen a whole lot of use for him. I think that there's some of the other units can really be thrown into some of the different levels and kits and really become very good. I mean, he's good for Realm of Gods, but I think his other categories, I really would pick other units that are TURs above him. So it's just kind of interesting. Now, in full disclosure, I do not have Super Saiyan God Goku, okay? I do not have this unit. But with that being said, I just did not feel, even with the times that I've used him as my friend unit and things of that nature to try to play around with him and see what's going on, I just feel like that there are some other units that are just more beneficial than what the Super Saiyan God Goku is able to turn around and be. So then we're jumping to number 8. This guy right here, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta Angel. I love this unit. Worthy rival category, key +4 and 150 across the board. So probably one of the better LR leader skills that you're able to turn around and get. The only reason, and I've got to tell you, I again really like this unit. I think this unit is very good. The fact that he is so restricted at his full power is the reason why he is number 8 on this list. This is, I mean, the fact that you have to have specifically his unit super attack to be a Majin Buu Saga character with the name Goku in it makes it very difficult. However, now, there are some units that are very good when he's able to turn around and have that boost. And if you have that Goku, he's going to be hitting his 18 key super attack pretty easily. So that's nice. However, again, because it does become a little bit easier to do that, you do lose the ability to raise your defense a little bit. And then even at his super attacks, you know, he's only going to be hitting it for about 3.5 million. On the Resurrected Warriors and Majin Buu teams, very, very good. Worthy Rivals, obviously, a very good team and definitely helps out Super Saiyan 2. But just that restriction just really is what puts him down. And that's really a very, you know, early theme that you see from each one of these. Now, fair warning, you guys are going to obliterate me for number 7. All right. Number 7 is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the new one that just came out. I will pause for a moment for you guys to catch your breath, and hopefully you guys continue on with me. Movie Heroes category, key +4 with 130 across the board. I am just so not impressed with this unit. Again, in fair disclosure, I do not have this unit, but man, he is good. He is the best one-shot wonder. but again, so restrictive. Even for his ability to be able to turn around and get some different things going on, it gets a little weird. You have to have a movie hero's Goku character starting from the 5th turn. In a long event, yeah, sure, you could save it and you could turn around and wait till you go against Master UI Goku and drop him down and kill him, and you're done. And you're going to walk away, or the any of the units, and any of the Gokus in the Legendary Goku event. But in any other mode, I mean, starting from the 5th turn, yeah, he's going to help you be able to maybe finish off one unit. But again, I just think that there were so many other units that are more well-rounded units that don't require the movie heroes category Goku. And that's what makes it difficult. I mean, you literally cannot use his active skill unless you have that unit. That is so restrictive. And so if you don't have it, I mean, you're in trouble. And then you turn around and the fact that he's basically Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, realistically, when you look at him. But Vegeta can actually turn around and get a unit special attack with his character, guaranteed 18 attack. He just is, I just feel he's just so much better. Again, I know so many people have this guy as the #1 unit. I just don't. Obviously he doesn't even crack my top 5. So next, kind of moving on here, we do have the Boundless Power, Beyond Boundless Power, the Blue Boys. This guy is pretty nice. I mean, okay, All Out Struggle, not so much. Joint Force is pretty nice little category, because there are so many different Joint Forces units that are turning around and coming out right now. Again, probably part of the reason why they're down a little bit lower on this list is because of the fact that they need the Rainbow Key Spheres. Now, if you get the Rainbow Key Spheres, and if you can turn around and pick up at least 3 Rainbow Key Spheres, this unit right here becomes probably top 3. I mean, they are a very, very hard hitter, combined with a lot of different things. I would actually probably put them, they may be actually 4th. I mean, but these guys are just really, really good. But the fact that you need that key sphere, if you cannot pick up at least those, probably I would say at least 2 key spheres that are rainbow, you're struggling. If you can't pick up any, you're just done. So again, if you have the ability, I think maybe if they come out with an all-out struggle, you could do better. Now, Joint Forces, they actually have a nice little Goku and Arale that turns around and changes things up, that you know, you can really get a lot of different things going on. Could be pretty cool, but at the same time, I think I felt like they were just a little too restricted to be able to have any higher up on this list. Number 6, here we go. Wow, yeah, you guys are probably like, are you kidding me? UI Goku is 6th? He doesn't even crack the top 5 in what I feel being the best LRs in 2020. Okay, look, I'm not gonna lie, this dude is good, okay? But part of what has to make him, I think, very, very good is to actually turn around and build your kit a little bit more towards the fact that you need those dodges. It's not imperative that he has dodges. Once he gets his dodges and he can get the you know, full 77% attack and defense, and he's getting that 7 additional key. Wow, I mean, he's just dodging, and he's just having a good old time. And I mean, he's going to be consistently, even before, like I've got mine with no dupes, and he's hitting consistently at 4.5 million. But I will tell you that if I'm not up to 18 key super attacks, he's just average. He's hitting at 1.5 to 1.7. It's nothing that's going to be sitting there and thinking to myself, wow, this guy is like just absolutely bonkers amazing. I do love him, again. Understand, I like playing with him, but he's so inconsistent. How many times do you hear people sit there and say that, well, oh, UI Goku didn't sit there and do the dodging? Now, I will tell you, my guy, I've got him, all 3 skill orb equipments are dodge. I would probably put him at almost a full dodge and crit, I think, is probably the way that I would turn around and build him once I start getting some additional dupes for him. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, that's, I know, 6th, right? He did not make my top 5. So, who did make the top 5? Number 5, Vegito Blue. Now, I'll tell you guys right now, and we'll just go ahead and lump these two together, okay? Number 4, I went ahead and made Gogeta. All right, so you can argue these two guys at one time were, you know, I heard people say they were 1A and 1B. You know, so these guys are 4A and 4B, if you will, on my list. Really, the reason why I turned around and really broke these two units down, they are identical units. The only difference is the fact that Vegito has more additional attacks, which means he does build up to his full power faster. But with skill orbs and some different things, you can get the same thing with Gogeta going on. The fact that when you actually look at it, at what's better, additional attacks or super effective against all types. If you're having a character that's hitting for 1,000,000, essentially this is what it goes for. If they are not, if they're super effective against all types, they're basically hitting for 1.5 million. If they're not super effective against all types, they're just hitting for 1,000,000. And if they have that disadvantage, they're only hitting about 500,000. That's, you know, easy math going on looking at it. So if I'm hitting someone for 100, you know, 1.5 million every single time, but then I'm turning around and I'm just hitting just average, yes, you could sit there and say, well, you're hitting at that million mark, but you're not, it's not really. It's actually more like about 750,000. If you can get all of Vegito's super attacks off, I think at that point he does become, you know, maybe better. But the fact that it is, you know, not guaranteed, it's a medium opportunity, but then you turn around, you get the exact same thing. You have a medium chance of becoming a super attack with the launch of an additional attack. That's huge. But the fact that he's able to turn around and be super effective against all types is the reason why I pushed him 1/100th of a notch over. You get either one of these units, perfectly fine. Good units to go through and get, definitely units that you want to turn around and spend red coins for to be able to pick up. And then if you get your dupes in them, they're just that much better. All right, so top 3. What's going on with the top 3? Number 3 is this guy right here, Super Saiyan Goku. This is the movie character that you really need in order for the tech Gohan to really be setting off. This is who you need. If you have both of these units, then yes, I can sit there and say, okay, hey, Super Saiyan Gohan now has basically a best friend and someone that's going to make key spheres for him. He's going to turn around and help him fulfill his full path, and he's going to be absolutely devastating and going on from that point. So when you look at it, you're going to be sitting there thinking to yourself, well, okay, why do you have Super Saiyan Super Saiyan Goku ahead of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan? Well, one, he's the person that you need in order to make him the Gohan the most effective. The fact that I consistently with him hit 18 key super attacks, 4.5 million, and my dude's at 90%. I mean, he is just knocking it out of the park every single time. And he's 12 months older than Gohan. Okay, then you turn around and you think about, okay, well, how do they affect their continuing teams? You know, you have your pure Saiyans, your movie heroes, Goku Family, Super Saiyans, Final Trump Card, and then the Connected Hopes. But they, all those categories, I mean, he's a top unit on each one of those. Then you throw in the fact that he's a Super Saiyans lead. If you throw him on a Super Saiyans team or have other Super Saiyans around him, he can get an additional 14% attack. He's just really, really good. I would love for him to have been on like all-out struggle. I mean, how is that not an all-out struggle? He was getting floored by Android 13 until he basically absorbs the Spirit Bomb, gets the Super Saiyan power, and then just knocks him. So pretty interesting from that standpoint. But any which way, I actually seriously considered putting this dude at number 1. However, I had to consider 2 units that came out, and again, goes back just like Vegito and Gogeta. I think these are units you can say are 1A and 1B. These 2 units here, I think, can really turn around, and they're different enough that but they're similar to where, I don't know, it's just really interesting. So without further ado, number 2 is going to be Gotenks. And which then in turn, so you guys know who I'm talking about, the Strength Vegito is who I have as my number 1 unit. Now, the reason why I've turned around and I've said that these guys are there, this Bootinks, literally, I was splitting hairs when it got to the point of what I thought was going to be my top units. It literally came down to the links. I said, okay, these two units, you have to look at them at link level 1, and even if you compare them at link level 10. Majin Buu Gotenks, or Bootinks, is, if you do not have his Majin link at link level 10, I just think he is just missing out. I mean, that 2 key is so huge for him. Yes, he's got some other benefits and some different things that are going on with some other units to be able to turn around and make himself that much better, but that's what really makes sure that you're going there. Now, he infinitely raises attack and defense, which is really, really good. Obviously, you can get both of them to go on, and then when he has a physical, so he's got that built-in at 55%, has that built-in ability to be able to turn around and launch an additional attack, he's going to infinitely stack both. If you get the 12 key off, having that go through, you're going to then turn around and have that raise attack that's going to go. So he's going to go defense first, then attack. So he's raising both of them. And when you're looking at the ability to raise both, I mean, you're talking about 30% on both of those. So that's the reason why he can become so powerful and just keep going. And the fact that at the start of turn, he's raising 12% on his HP, and that's even before he even turns around and transforms. And his transform can be activated as long as your HP is 50% or more starting from the 4th turn. That's nothing, especially with this Majin Buu team. So you're gonna see Ultimate Gohan, Buu, or Buuhan in this. And yes, he drops down with 10% HP. He's launching an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. Then with his built-in passive at level 5 for his combo attack, he has a chance to be attacking 3 times consistently at like 3 million. So he's hitting at anywhere between a 7 and 10 million combined hit, which is really, really, really good. Now, what does make him a little bit, he does get that key +5, but that's only lasting 5 turns, and then his being able to seal enemy super attack for 5 turns, that's nice in like a super battle road or something to that effect. But if you don't have those, or if you're going into an event where they can't be sealed, you're literally losing out on a big portion of it. So then that's when we turn around and we say, hey, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the who I think is number 1, which is Goku and Vegeta Angel. The fact that they can be ran with all the other Vegetos, and they can be ran with the other LR, Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta, that obviously helps. Once they transform, they're going through and doing a lot of different things. But they've got a built-in 30% damage reduction. They raise attack and defense on both their 18 and 12 keys. It's not infinitely stacking, but it's a nice little boost that you're turning around and still getting with each one of their attacks at that 30%. So that is always a very nice thing to be able to turn around and have. Yes, from 4th turn, you need to have less than 77% HP to be able to transform them, which can be difficult sometimes. But the fact that they get the key +1, just like Bootinks, and then that medium chance of launching an additional super attack, I consistently am launching an additional super attack, I feel. So I think that with them, again, I have got 1 dupe in them. They are pretty consistently at this level, hitting probably around that 18 key, because they get the fact they get +1 per key sphere obtained. I feel like that they're pretty much hitting about a 3 million attack stat with each one of their attacks pretty easily, 2.5 million. So right there, you're talking about 5 million. Then when he turns around and becomes Super Vegito, you're taking away that 30% damage reduction, which, yes, that does help, but he does recover. So you're talking about a guy that is going to recover 50% of your HP, pretty much not take damage from anything except for a super attack. Where I will say, Bootinks, he can tank a super attack. If you get those, if he's able to turn around and get 2 or 3 18 key spheres, or if you're going to be in a longer event and you need that extra defense, his defense can get up there pretty high, and he's just laughing. And not having to worry about anything. But here he's turning around and doing that. The fact that he's got a medium chance to perform a critical hit and counter on super attacks, those are all great and wonderful. But then you sit there and you can foresee enemy super attacks for 10 turns. So he's knowing where everything is going to come through. You can dodge the super attack, which is the only thing that can hurt you. And if you're turning around and getting hit 5 times, by standard attacks. Every time he's getting hit, again, you have to think about that critical hit, and he's strength, so he's got a built-in crit into it. But if you turn around and build his full crit passive, I mean, he's countering for 1,000,000. So for each one of his hits, he's going to be hitting you for basically 1,000,000 on each one of those. And then he has that super attack chance. And then if you have multiple super attack opportunities that he's able to turn around and do, then you're just consistently hitting people. I mean, you can be reaching a 10 to 15 million attack stat. Yes, you are in a little bit of a need for those super attacks, or excuse me, countering regular attacks. But being able to see them for 10 turns, I mean, that you're not going to run into that very often, to where you're going to run out of that opportunity to not know where people are coming through and hitting. And then, of course, he sits there and has a number of linking partners with other Vegitos that he can turn around and do some great things with. He's got the Vegito Blue physical that is just the exact same way kit. Then you can have your 90% buff on the AGL's Super Vegito. So just amazing. He's on Joined Forces, Super Saiyans, Pure Saiyans, which is huge. Pure Saiyans is just devastating now. Potara, Majin Buu Saga, which could be technically thrown in together with the Bootinks. I mean, that's again the unit. Typically, when they do the double units that are coming out, and you're able to turn around and say, "Hey, I'm going to take the 2 LRs. They could be on the same team." That's part of the reason, too, why I bump him up slightly above Bootinks, because Bootinks can't take Vegito on his team, but Vegito can take Bootinks on his. So it makes, obviously, a big difference there. So that is my tier list. So number 1 being Super Vegito, number 2 being Bootinks, number 3 being the Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan Goku, and then Gogeta and Vegito as my 4 and 5. UI Goku at 6, then Blue Boys at 7, Gohan at 8, Vegeta, Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta at 9, and running out the top 10 being Super Saiyan God Goku. And then you have your Rose, Napa, and then of course the Chile, Broly Chile and Limo, which again I will re-emphasize. If movie bosses, the fact that he's only got 2 categories is so hurtful. But if movie bosses were to turn around and have that ability to get a orb changer, this guy jumps to very, very high on the list. And he's going to consistently, if he can get those 7 key spheres, he's just going to laugh. I mean, that's just, he's going to laugh at everything that you're doing at that point, because you will not touch him. He is the #1 defensive unit at that standpoint. So all he needs is either an additional movie category, or like I said, a rainbow orb changer for movie bosses. GG. That's it. So, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about my tier list. Let me know if you guys agree with it. If you disagree with it, it is perfectly fine if you guys disagree with it. This is my personal opinion and who I think are going to be the best units, and who I would suggest you turn around and put a priority for when making a decision on whether or not you're going to be using your red coins, with this guy being #1, which I cannot fault you for turning around and making this guy #1 either. But those are your the top 2 units that I would say to make sure you turn around and say to go for. But if you guys have not done so already, please make sure you guys are hitting that red subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell, so that so that you guys are notified every single time I'm uploading a new video. But otherwise, that's it. That's today's video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I am very confident that 2021 is going to be an amazing year for us, and we will just continue to knock this out of the park. So thank you guys very much for watching, and we will talk to you guys later.